How's it going, everybody? It's time for us to play test Knull. I know a lot of us saw him used in the Crucible tournament a few days ago. He didn't look great there, but I might think that the room rules were working against him in a big way. But we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to test him in Arena, and we're going to test him in War today. Before we do that, though, I want to just jump into his stats here and show that the Knull I am using is completely decked out. Purple 3, all the T4s. He's 7 yellow, 7 red. Important to note that when we get Knull, he's going to be at 4 yellow, 4 red, which is a big difference. I did get to test him at 5 yellow, 5 red, actually, and I was not too impressed. But I've learned a lot more about him now. I know a lot more about his kit. So why don't we go ahead, let's take him into the arena, and let's see if he's going to be an arena shakeup. Alright, so here we are in the arena, and we're going to go a little bit crazy. I'm going to use Gore, Knull, Apocalypse, Odin, and Mephisto against kind of the generic arena defense we see right now, which is the 3 Annihilators with Odin and Mephisto. So Knull will really impact this match because he's not going to let Mephisto get empowered, but that doesn't mean Mephisto doesn't get his speed stat. So Mephisto is still going to spawn in with 666 additional speed stat, so he's going to take 2 turns pretty quickly. And since he's not doing his empowered attack, I mean, he doesn't get offense up. He's going to be missing that, but he is still going to hit twice. And if he hits the wrong target twice, I mean, we could see death. So there's Mephisto's first attack, immediately puts slow on my Odin. So right away, I'm starting to think, like, I probably want to get a... I probably want to go ahead and get a pre-taunt there to stop that. We'll see what happens here, though. I get to use my attack on the enemy Odin because the enemy Mephisto went first, and because he didn't do his empowered attack, he started with his special, which puts taunt on the hero. So here we go. Odin is getting absolutely wrecked. Odin's gone. Okay, Odin gets no buffs, right? He gets no defense up. He gets nothing because the empowered Mephisto just doesn't do empowered Mephisto stuff. All right, well, let's continue this on. I'll ability block the enemy Gore here because I have no reason to do anything else. And there you go. So we have offense up. They don't have defense up. In fact, they had defense down because Apocalypse flipped stuff. Was that Apocalypse that went? I don't even know. So pretty interesting there. And finally, Knull's going to go. We'll use his ultimate. That does activate the battlefield effect on the enemy side. So the same side as Odin. So I don't really want Odin to do... Well, this was easy. Let's try taking Odin and Mephisto off. So just losing that Mephisto and Empowered was kind of crazy, right? All right, so let's go in here. I'll try taking these guys off. I'll just go Shadow King and Annihilators. Let's try that, okay? You and then Gladiator. I don't know. For no reason whatsoever, I want to try this. Or maybe we go even crazier. Maybe we go even crazier. No, let's just try this. Okay, we'll just try this. I was thinking like maybe I bring Void Knight in. Because Void Knight will kind of do what Apocalypse did, where he'll flip a bunch of stuff. We'll get to go earlier. They'll give Knull speed bar. Be lots of interesting stuff there. We'll see what happens. We're going to see if Knull can match up against both Mephisto and Odin. I don't think this will work. I don't. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see if Knull is actually way better than what we think. He did nothing there, though. It was just the damage from the other people, especially the opening attack from my Mephisto into the Odin. All right, so there's that. My Gore gets to go first. Why don't we start by getting a defense down on the Odin? Okay, then we'll get some more darkness out there on him. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I should have ulted with Gore because it would have got... well, yeah, but I like the defense down on him, too. Oh, are we killing the Odin before he gets a turn here? Oh, wow. Wow. And you got to remember, guys, we normally have bigger characters hitting into Odin. It'll do more damage. Like a 3-diamond Gore is going to do more damage to Odin than what we saw here. That's kind of interesting. We're still in big trouble, though. We're not out of the woods yet. While Knull just kind of screwing around with the turn order was enough to really shake things up here. I got ability block, or I could take the battlefield effect off. Let's take the battlefield effect off. This also activates Shadow King passive, giving him more speed bar, so that's good too, right? The assist from Knull comes in. Wait, why? Why did Knull get to assist, even though there's a Gore with 2 Annihilators? Don't question it. Let's just go. All right, so because we don't have trauma, we take everyone's debuffs. We flip it around. Knull can't gain trauma either, so that's good. The only way Knull can gain trauma, sorry about the screen crashing. We are kicking ass here, though. I'll wait till the screen comes back. My, oh, damn, Absolute Carnage defeated. Absolute Carnage killed that Gladiator from like 50% life. Knull just hard countered both Odin and Mephisto. Knull is not a bad character. Knull is not a bad character. And just the fact that he does that anti-Mephisto, he's going to shake up Arena day one, even with 4 yellow, 4 red. I know a lot of people are doubting that. I don't doubt it anymore. I really don't. All right, this is going to activate another Shadow King ping. I don't even know what my ISOs are right now. I also don't know why Knull is doing his assist when he's not supposed to. That was crazy. All right, but let's go test him out in in War now, because War is a different place. Like, there's a lot of speed shenanigans that happen in War. All right, we're gonna start by trying something a little crazy, and this is a super team when you think about it. So I'm using Knull, Gore, Void Knight. That's not a super team. That's a power trio. I'm gonna throw in Apocalypse and Zombie Scarlet Witch for this one, which I mean may seem like silly overkill for you, but we're really testing a pretty dynamic increase in difficulty from Absolute A-Force in War here. The amount of speed bar you get, the speed stat they got, there's actually a lot that goes into this team that if this wins, I'd actually be pretty impressed with it. I would not be unimpressed if this loses. But my thought process here is Zombie Scarlet Witch stops the Kahori. We get more speed stat than they do. Okay. We flip stuff here. So that's defense down and ability blocks. That's pretty good. It all gets cleansed. That's fine. This will strip the charges. Plus, we'll put an ability block out there, sure. Although I think stripping the charges is a bad thing, isn't it? All right, well, let's get slow trauma on them. Clear this, nerd. So the trauma didn't land on the Kahori, which is going to be super unfortunate. We wanted that to happen so that our Apocalypse would go first. We see the mind control is doing pretty good work. Okay. All right. We're in trouble now. Yeah, we're definitely in trouble now. So because we didn't get any kills at the gate, not looking good. If I'd summoned the Carnage summon by using Knull Special, I actually don't think that would have been very good anyway. Wow, they're doing no damage for some reason. Yeah, they're doing so little damage for some reason. They all took their turns. Now, they have a lot of darkness now, actually. So because they have a lot of darkness, what that means is Knull is getting a lot more speed bar, because he gets extra speed, or sorry, not speed bar, speed stat. Because Knull gets additional speed stat for each individual that has darkness. So he should be getting 50% speed stat. We might see Knull just... Yeah, look, Knull's about to take his third turn before Apocalypse gets his second, and Apocalypse has speed up. Hold on. Alright, damage comes in. No assists are coming from my Knull because we do have an exposed and Kahori stops that. I made my Knull over. Maybe he should be a striker for moments like this. Is this unavoidable? Oh, can't be dodged. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll take out the Wasp here. Or sorry, the Ironheart. Oh, he hits everybody too. I gotta learn these kits more. This is crazy. Alright, so that's gonna be it for... Oh my god. Was Apocalypse even needed here? That's pretty damn impressive, guys. Alright, let's try another thing. Let's try something else. Okay, so now we're trying something really silly. We're gonna try Liberty now, which I think demolishes this. Because Falcon gets so much speed stat, then he gives Safeguard. He does a bunch of really interesting things here, right? We stopped them from getting immunity at least. So I'm wondering if we can get like slow and trauma on them. Can Gore and Knull do their thing? But we're already in big trouble. All right, pretty good there. We have an ability block. I kind of feel like I need to throw it here so he doesn't get speed. But here it can be. Well, we can't gain stun or trauma on Knull. This would be defense down. This should also get an extra darkness out, right, from the assist? Yeah, it did. Okay, so now Knull's that much faster now. Slayer's dead. Goblin, are you getting a turn here, bud? You're not getting a turn. All right. So this is not looking great. Oh, no, look at that damage. Yeah, so that, yeah, oh, okay, well, yeah. Liberty doesn't give a shit. All right, we'll try something else. All right, we're going to continue trying weird things. This I know will. I kind of know will work. This is the 3-piece Knull team is what I'm going to start calling them. Void Knight, Knull, Gore. with Scientist Supreme and Sentinel, because I want to pre-taunt, and I want to give them an early debuffs, that sort of thing, okay? So there's that attack, whatever. Carnage will get speed stat for that, and then away they go. Let's see how well we take these hits. We'll flip all that, and now we get to go. See, that's super interesting to me. So I can now... Oh, no, we're stuck behind the taunt. So Red Goblin is still going to do Red Goblin things here. All right, oh, wow. Look at that hit from Knull there. That is an old stat character, though, right? All right, so they're getting extra turns because they did push people low. Gore's getting to go now. Okay. There's no battlefield effect because Mephisto didn't get to do his thing. We'll just do the special here to hit everybody. All right, good stuff. So here's the thing. I can put slow trauma on everybody, or I can summon the Carnage. Let's do this, because no one has... He doesn't have trauma, so he's actually going to protect my entire team. So Knull is kind of an... Wow, he one-shot that Mephisto. 7 red stars, so keep that in mind. Wow, that's over. Wow. What I was about to say is Knull is a really interesting offensive character, because you get to pick which attack you want to do. And I honestly don't feel like the special is that much worse than the ultimate. The ultimate putting slow and trauma out there is crazy. The special is going to like transfer all negative effects from your entire team, not hidden behind Symbiote, not hidden behind anything, and then it's going to just flip it. So, and we got to remember, Knull cannot gain trauma, right? Yeah, this character cannot gain trauma, stun, or slow. So he is actually, until Professor X comes out, and when Professor X is on the field, if Knull has defense down, then he can gain trauma. Knull, he's always going to be able to cleanse your entire team and flip it all, and then he summons his Carnage. Like, the ultimate is great, don't get me wrong. The ultimate is great, and it activates the battlefield effect, which is huge. But the special is not far off. There's more to this character than what we saw in the tournament. We're going to play some of the tournament footage over again, but there's more to this character than the tournament footage, for sure. Because we have so many buffs on spawn from Red Goblin and from Knull that it's going to activate the Super Skrull. But I do want to show what I think is going to be a weakness in Knull's kit, which is going to be Super Skrull. Super Skrull seems to be hanging on there just from his after spawn speed bar stuff. So Knull gives everybody defense up, and I think Red Goblin gives everyone deflex. Oh, I guess not. I read that wrong. Okay. Can Knull be rewound? That's the big question. First, let's go ahead. We'll do one of these. That is also going to give Knull Super Skrull just an absurd amount of speed bar. But we get to go now. So in this case, I don't think we want to do the ultimate, right? Because we have offense down. The battlefield effect is cool. The slow trauma on everybody is cool, but it's not going to affect the Super Skrull. So I think I want to get defense down off of all my teammates. And I want to make sure I hit that summon, because that's going to make Carnage go vroom, right? So we clear all our debuffs. We killed somebody. Maybe that was the fake Sentinel. And we got to push. And Super Skrull got called in to do a mind control before his attack. He did not hit the Carnage summon. That's interesting, right? Let's just try and finish off Nimrod, I guess. Which we did. Okay. Yeah, Red Goblin's in trouble, but let's keep trying to knock people low here. You're gonna take a turn. Let's see if Absolute Carnage does work here. Oh, Absolute Carnage is way better than the real Carnage. Oh, we're getting to go again? This is the Knull's Carnage. Let's see how much damage this does. Alright. Looks cool. Oh, wow. About like 60% of her life. Then the assist comes in. And then we get speed bars from both Carnages. Wow, that's great. That's actually great. Anybody killed from Knull is permadead, so say goodbye to... I thought this was going to lose. The speed stat that Knull's going again. I guess from the Carnages, but also from his passive. So if you look at his passive, gain 10% drain and 10% speed for each enemy with darkness, up to a maximum of 50. So Knull actually gets to go super fast in these long form combats if he can get darkness up on everybody, which his ultimate, I believe, does. Yeah, his ultimate does put darkness on everybody. So the weaknesses that we saw in the Crucible is that he wasn't able to land darkness because of the resist in stage 4. And then if you have him on defense, you have to hard counter Knull. If you don't hard counter Knull, I would be super concerned that he's going to slap you back 5 times harder because of what we've seen here so far. Let's go do one last final. Oh my god. What was that? What was that? I don't know what this team is. I can tell you that this should not work, right? The reason I'm not doing like a Hive Mind centric team here is because Emma Frost X-Men stops all speed stat gains. They fixed her. It's not just she stops it on spawn now. She stops it continuously. So Knull will just not be getting speed stat as we go. No matter how much darkness we get out there or how much symbiotes we have, it's just not going to happen. We also can't rewind, but we can speed up our Apocalypse, which is why I brought him. All right, so that's cool. The assists will come in. That's cool too, right? And then we can get a stun here. Okay. Okay. I can punch. I will not permakill. Knull can get permakills. Let's see if Knull will get the permakills here. Alright, character killed by Knull are not supposed to be able to get revive. Let's see if that's going to work on the assists. Some good damage comes in there. That's another assist. Okay, I gotta see that dragon again. I gotta see that dragon. We're not even going to use Knull's abilities here. And he's not even going to do the dragon. That is still a really cool attack, though. Okay. He was supposed to do the dragon. What was that? But there's 3 characters killed by Knull. I did not think this was going to work. Is this really any better than... Okay, this is actually a brutal win. Is this really any better than using Kang Cabal with Apocalypse, though? I don't particularly think so. Okay. Well, we watched a lot of wins here. Let's go see some Crucible losses, I guess. So, after doing this Knull testing, and then looking in retrospect on how many people struggled on stage 4, this stage that is the loss of 5,000% focus and loss of 50% damage, like, I thought Knull performed super... This is my first time using him on offense, right? I thought Knull performed super poorly. I was ready to write him off. But now watching it back, it really is a different story. So let's go ahead, let's play this. We'll fast forward through a little bit of whatever I'm talking about. This was during the tournament, by the way. And so Void Knight comes, and he actually gets a couple flips, right? Because he does have 5,000% focus here. And then, like, no other flips happen after that. We don't get the death proofs off. We get nothing off whatsoever. But Knull is still getting assists, and Knull continues to get those darknesses out. So because there's no Emma Frost X-Men, you're going to see all these darknesses go crazy here, right? So I target somebody who doesn't have darkness. Boom, there's the new darkness. Knull's going to be able to ult here if he wants. In retrospect, maybe I would have done the special instead to summon the Carnage just for more damage. But the way it feels, it's like, man, Knull is doing no damage. But watch how much damage they're taking compared to when other characters go. So we knocked a couple people into red there. We knocked them about 10%. Now watch how much damage Gore does. And then watch how much the assist does. So knocked him a little low. Old Man Logan a little bit lower. The Knull hit knocked him a good 20%. And that's what these characters, even levels, and Knull is doing 50% less damage because of the room rules. Again, look at the War Machine. Look how much damage Old Man Logan did. Now look. Boom. And so the reason this felt so bad is because they kept those death proofs. They kept their buffs. We were doing less damage. Like, people were freaking out, right? I was freaking out. But this was just a room rule. Okay, so let's go watch another one now. Let's go watch a different one that has me using Knull and the Hive Mind team up against a different opponent. This one was in stage 6 instead of stage 4. And then you kind of get a better glimpse at the sort of damage we can expect from these guys. As soon as I can find it here. There it is. So this is now a different match. This was in stage 6. And this was a full Orchis with Dorm team. And I brought Black Cat erroneously because I had Gore. I didn't need another buff strip, right? And then watch the damage here. It just tells a whole different story. So people were downplaying Knull, thinking he wasn't very good. And we'll go into why people think that in a second. But look at that. Damage right away. What do I do here? I do the ultimate. So I don't even have a Carnage on the field to be stacking speed bar on speed bar on speed bar here. So I am simply relying on the darkness. Watch Knull's turn meter go up in between turns here. Because right now, he has 3 symbiotes. So, and plus himself, I think. So he's getting 40% speed stat, but he's also getting 50% speed stat for every enemy that's currently alive with it. I guess we're just going to kill a bunch of enemies, because he's also giving piercing damage to the symbiotes, making them do more. He's not even going to get to see additional speed because of how much extra damage he's making them do. Yeah, this was just over at that point. I think people were downplaying how good Knull is. I think after playing with him a lot more and understanding the kit a lot more, I think there's more there. However, I want to make one thing crystal clear here. And I'm just trying to find the right match that had that team in there. Knull is not. I repeat, Knull is not a defensive toon. I am having a hard time finding the match here. All right, quick edit. Okay, here it is. And this was Starjammers up against an Annihilator's Odin and Knull. And this is pretty much why Knull is not going to be a defensive character, guys. Especially in Crucible. Maybe in War. I can see in War. Definitely in Arena, where he's going to stop your Mephisto from doing his thing. But with the various room rules we currently have, characters can do 100% increased damage. Now, the way you get to Knull is simply by killing him before he gets to stack darkness. And you see that my full Starjammer team here is stopping his speed stat gain, just like Emma Frost Expo do. So I think people were playing so carefully around Knull that it made people think Knull was bad. I do not think that is the case whatsoever. So I now turn my attention to Knull over here, I believe. And we just check the damage out. So this is Rocket with the Starjammers with offense up. And yeah, he does do one attack, 90% of that guy's life. And then watch the Lander. Look at this Thanos who has defense up. He's just dead, right? So you got to understand that what we saw in the tournament is probably not a crystal clear depiction of what Knull's final form is going to be like when people play him. I think there is a bad taste in people's mouth because the Envoys played super scared around Knull. And if you put him on defense, we overkilled him. And if we use him on offense, we were using him in rooms that the 2 times I used Knull, 2 out of the 3 times I used Knull in the Crucible tournament, I was using him into stage 4, where he does 50% less damage, right? So it looks really bad, but the way he stacks with speed, the way the darkness stacks, the mind controls, everything that he does, it's just a matter of making sure that Knull gets a turn, and then he becomes this like locomotive train. And we saw his use in Arena. I'm sorry to go against the grain here. This is not me shilling out. This is just my observations after kind of learning more about Knull and playing more with Knull, especially today, 1 hour before this video goes out. I'm a believer, but I'm not a believer of 4 yellow star for Null. That guy's trash. Okay, that guy's garbage. That's true. So hopefully we're going to have more ways to earn Knull shards in the very near future and earn his red stars too, because he is definitely a stat-dependent character. Let me know what you think about Knull after seeing this. It's kind of contrarian evidence as to what we saw. And yeah, don't use Knull against Liberty in War. We learned a valuable lesson here today.